And hello. So today I'll have to do some malware, and basically, considering that I still don't have any kind of solid experience, I'll still have to go with plain VBS as in Visual Basic Script, and any kind of like macro virus or Trojan or any kind of malware like that. Even though I'll probably spend just maybe 1 or 2 hours doing this, while going blind with all of this. Like there's always like a minor problem where you have to, where if I try to run only one kind of malware that has basically tits or technically porn, I get easily kicked out. So going blind in this case is kind of dangerous. Well, maybe not just for the scripted ones, as in for the macros and script, as you can always dig the code inside and see what's actually going on. Meanwhile, this screensaver is the golden era part of well, Windows 98 Plus theme pack, and well, it's also in Windows Me, and usually just includes like a guy checking the newspaper all day, getting a calls from some women. Basically, that's the golden era. It's like in 16s, I think, or 70s. I don't know. But usually, even in today's time, we'll probably get like phones instead of newspaper in this case. So just being on a phone, sitting near the clock or radio station, I don't know. But we should go back to actually trying out some malware at this point. So let me drop a few things. Let me check. So I'll go with few viruses at this point, at least 4 variants. Well, hold on a sec. Yeah, let's try a few viruses first. Come on, now stack it up. Lining up doesn't fit in this case. Usually you have like an option for, how do you say, like for group, is it like grouping, or I don't know how to call it. There is a feature in Windows XP that you can actually just pin the icon specifically, snap them to the grid, and that's not available in older versions. So I will go with Virgo. So I think we'll just assume all is a doc file until we figure out something else. Xchg. Then we have Lacop, that's for Microsoft Point. And then Tibet for Word. So those are all, they're all supposed to be Mac viruses at this point. So we only have to check them out inside. So we go with Virgo in this case to see what's going on in here. We'll disable macros first, and let's see if that's in valid document. You know, it says like others Asus and company IBM. Nothing much else in here. As long as that's a valid document. But it did manage to open though. So let's see. There is a module. So there should be the code. So let's see in this case. So we have a few constants. Now when the document is open, when the version is 8.0, I already forgot the version of Word in this case. Can I even check that in here? Yeah, there's no even mention of any possible version from here, which kind of kills the point. Like there's like the version in here, and you cannot actually be sure if it is or not. If it's 8, then end. So that's supposed to mean like it doesn't work with. Hold on a sec. Let me check again. Word control. Okay, so that's Word 97. So basically that's the current version, and double clicking here, it doesn't do anything as far as it looks like. So what is this even possible to check, or so that's returning or setting a string in settings file in registry. I assume that will be actually for disabling the security. In this case, yeah, it's mostly security, I guess. But this also has like for the workbook. Oh, god damn it. There is also for the workbook. It's pretty much the same logic. So when the document is closed, it should get the module, delete a single line, assuming the one with a comment, and then add the code, which looks like. So where is this going from? So it just says my code, but there is nothing else referring to that. Oh wait, there it is. So that's basically getting from first line to all the lines. So basically this whole module then. Hey Vastrakai, if you mean me, not sure what you meant by that. Sorry, I'm kind of still lost. I actually cannot think even today. It's always like constant thinking of what I'm actually doing and what I'm not. If you want to say something, feel free. As long as it's under the terms of service. So where was I? So yeah, for the workbook, closing the document, editing code. So in here it should actually infect Word document, and here it should actually get the Excel application, get the workbooks, and then add the code for workbooks in this case, basically making this functional at this point. And then when it's closed, then repeat the same logic, basically. So this is a pretty simple virus with no specific payload other than disabling the security level, and I'm not sure just what's access VBLM. I don't think there's anything related to that. Let me check online. So what's my opinion of Windows 8.1 and its end of support? Well, Jacob, I would say that Windows 8 and Windows 8.1 are basically trash. Well, close to 10, even though 8.1 has few advantages, it was technically not supported since Windows 10 was released. As considering the Metro was a complete failure, even though they tried to like keep it on some point, I would say that 8.1 should be killed even early as possible. Even though I will say that Windows 7 should be still supported, considering that that's still better than 8 and 8.1. Not because of the few improvements they made over, but because of general availability, and basically in general, everyone preferred Windows 7 over 8 or 8.1 or even 10 until they actually killed the support. And then And then basically we are forced with going with 10 in this case, or basically 11. So I would say not much of use for me. I do not care that much of Windows 8.1 or 8 at all. So fun fact, 8.1 is surprisingly less bloated and more lightweight surprisingly. I think that's just because they removed a bunch of stuff, even some stuff that probably required some, how to say, some compatibility parts. I just don't remember what was the usual problem, I think. But I think most of the apps were not working that well. So I cannot actually remember so much. I think like, okay, Windows 7 had like few stuff like few games and maybe few accessories, and 8 and 8.1 probably has all that gone. So technically 8.1 just is usually remembered as Windows 8 with a start button in general. Maybe a few more stuff are added, but nothing more than that. I'll keep this disabled until we check other documents and we can see what we can actually run. Yeah, so I was still checking the access VBOM. So that's supposed to be like some kind of trust access to Visual Basic Object. That probably applies only to newer versions of Office. Yeah, Windows 10 is kind of fine, as you can expect that everyone is still using the 10, as probably even you, Jacob, but it's forced overall. Yeah, Windows 7 really is the last best version of Windows at all. 10 can feel like maybe better at some point, but the problem is they're both adding so much of junk like advertising and telemetry that it's not worth it. You cannot actually even consider. I cannot still consider using it as a like main operating system over 7. They always go like, instead of like, you'll just keep everything like clean so that user can just browse how as it showed like for how many ages already, and then they just instead they just add like a bunch of advertising, but in a small way, like it's not actually like noticeable. So when you go to like OneDrive, then it prompts like maybe to log in with Microsoft account, then they log most of the other stuff to Microsoft account. But you can also say that even for Windows 8, as most of apps for Windows 8 require logging into Microsoft account again. So basically overall the main problem here is that you need a Microsoft account just to actually use Windows at this point, even though it should not be required. And then you have a problem. What's going to happen if you actually lose access to Microsoft account, and then you are screwed. So this is macro exchange Office 97 macro by Jack Trueflower, line 0 Metacase. So I think that's one of those groups that actually developed viruses. Yeah, I have to figure out the better definitions of that. So let me check. Yeah, looking up online, it doesn't work well right now. So let me check it here. So infecting Excel. That was checked for ref Excel. Something about that. Let's see a bit later. Check for ref Excel. So get the Visual Basic project for active workbook. Then check the references and see if there is a reference with a name VBID, then it's already reference true. So the project needs to have like a reference. Hold on a second, what's reference in this case? Well then, I'm kinda lost in here. Okay, ship hello. So I'm not sure how does this go, unless this is like maybe opening the Visual Basic ID, I'm not sure. Then it's adding this, and I cannot actually find anything about this. Maybe project object. I'm not actually able to find. One sec. So what's the actual property references? Is it even available here? Yeah, I'm not sure at this point. Some kind of odd one method that I still didn't figure out. So checking the active. So if it actually has the Xchg module, then it's already infected. So yeah, that's a simple check. If it's not infected, then hold on a sec, conference, add. Let's see. So how does this work then? Standard module, add the module name, and then add from string the virus code, which should be mentioned here, or there's no mention of virus code though. Oh, wait, it is. So basically, that's the whole text in here. And then that adds the code, then saves it as the itself. Then here in the startup file, well, that's the startup part. That's for the startup for the Word in this case, but it's also for Excel. So in here it should add the rookie XLS file, infected, hide it, and then save it. In here, let's see, so the same code in here, get Excel application, add a workbook, add the module, infected, and save it in the same position like in here. Wait, hold on a sec. So basically this is like crossing from Word to Excel, I think. And this one basically infects inside of Excel already. Consider that this is already an active workbook, and that's why it doesn't actually mention anything in here that it has any reference. Now for infecting Word, let's see. Check for ref Word. So if there's the macro container, so what's macro container in here? Oh, so yeah, so if if the macro is located in template, then it should be referred that it's in normal template, and if it's in active document, then it's in active document in this case. But then there's still this part that I cannot understand. So where the hell it actually gets the references count? I'm not quite sure what that's actually supposed to mean in this case. Or that actually means for the method itself. So let me check. Word. Doesn't actually show anything. There is a reference though, but a range object that represents a footnote, endnote, or comment reference mark, and it's read only. But that's reference, not references. And already referred, then add from quid, even though I'm not sure how that even works still. and then end function again. Back to infect word, go with the same infection process. So get the normal template and active document. So check the for the normal count to see if there's any component that's infected, and if there's any component of Xchg, then it's considered as infected already. If it's not infected, then if the normal is not infected, then infected, save it, and same thing for active document in this case. And that's basically all for this one. And then there's for the cross-platform infection. I'm not sure how should I call this, like for crossing between Excel and Word or vice versa. The same logic. So get to the Word application, then process with the infection process to make sure that the normal template is infected at that point. Now let's see one more document. Let me just check this one first. No author, no company, just 1 and 2 dots. And then let's see, Lacop 50 cannot be opened. So why is that? So let's see if we can actually see what's inside. So there is like some kind of mentions some macro parts, but so what's this supposed to be then? I mean, it was supposed to be like for the presentation, so I was assuming that was it. So why if I actually try going with the document instead? And yeah, that's not going to work either way. Okay, so maybe it's like a newer version, or I don't know at this point. Let me check if it's maybe a bit more modern. Nah, it cannot be. Usually, as far as I'm aware, the newer versions of Office, like Microsoft Office Open XML format, usually be like some kind of zip file, but I kind of doubt that that's the one in this case. No, that's not it. So how should I go with this? Even though it kind of feels like it's not PowerPoint, but it feels like this. So I don't know how should I open this at this moment. It even mentions like for PowerPoint in this case. We'll have to see that later. Then we'll see Tibet in this case. So this looks like a lot of methods, so we'll go one by one. So when word is open, then go to infection. How do you even go in this case? Oh, damn it! I cannot actually remember. Yeah, okay. Keep forgetting how should I even do things. I'll probably forget what's my even name in maybe 5 years. Oh no, that's even completely encoded. It's using like lots of characters in here. Yeah, just swing with specific character code. So that's going to even cause a bit more trouble. AI false. So let's see if we can go even further. Okay, so get attribute for the normal template. If it's read only or archive and read only, then open the auto execute batch file and if this exists, then call it, and if it exists, then also erase it. Then in here, while hidden, it should go to the folder for, one sec. It will go to the folder for Microsoft Office, I assume. Go to end. Let's. Oh yeah. Oh, it goes to this thing. So for each one of those, it should actually. Let's see. It should actually disable the hidden, read only, and archive attributes for normal template. And yeah, that's basically all it does. And it seems that there is also like for Vortlink, which I assume it's like for German. Yeah, come on. Yeah, it's for German, basically meaning templates as far as I'm actually reading from translator. So that's actually, so that one is makes sure that the normal template is actually writable at this point. So let me go to last position, then go stealth. So in this case, the view format tools and tools should be deleted. So that means that view format and tools should be gone at that point when we try to open the document. So come back. Oh, god damn it. Let's see, where were we? So we were here, and then there's FT and K. Let's see, so randomize, thanks to Whitewood and ES, the person who actually developed that Poppy macro constructor kit. So let's say so lots of randomization. Then get the model, count of lines. Then with the code in here for each step. Replace the line with few values in here. So I'm not sure what's this supposed to do. I'm just assuming that this is actually going to cause like some, how to say, adding some noise maybe. I'm not sure at this moment. So let me go back for a bit and see what's next. So with application, enable cancel key. So that should prevent control break interruptions. Disable alerts. Set the username and initials. The username in here, the initials, and the address. Disable auto macros, even though this is not functional in this case. I really actually need to try installing a few more virtual machines running different kinds of Office versions, and then easily kind of switch between those. That should be a better option maybe, but I still didn't have enough time to do that. Let's see, for 7-hour prompt, make sure that works. Then disable the virus protection and confirm conversions from all the versions of document with some macro. Then it also needs to a bit of an upgrade in that case. So for the read only. So if you top the document, it should suggest that it's open as read only. don't warn about that. Then there's this something called export. So that should like save it as a separate file. So it's supposed to get the name of some module and then export it to the file and to this location, assuming it's in here. Then for the dialogues, so that's for auto. What's this supposed to do? Auto title comments execute for the dialogue. What is the current settings of a Word dialog box? Wait, that's so that's for the dialog file summary info though. Even though I cannot actually find more info about this one. So the file summary info, so I assume that's for the properties for the document itself. Basically this, outer Dalai Lama. You'll have to check this one also. For each component, get a name, then AI. Okay, that I assume it's that template is infected, and then in here that active document is infected. So if both of them are infected, then end. If at least one is infected, then if active document is not infected, then same for the normal. Then again, there's the import function in here that I have no idea what it does, what it's actually doing. Here the normal template is saved. If it's not saved, then save it. Same for the active document. And then the end, display alert. Wait, that's for actually enabling the alert system, alerts again. And if the seconds of the current date is above 30 seconds, then call Tibet, which is this part. At this point, assistance should be visible with a new balloon of how to say bullet types. I think it's like this. So that should be like 4 type bullets with the headings defined in here, and icon alert on the left side, assume, with a warning, I think, and the text in here, which we cannot actually, we would probably try extracting, but we can also check it out, and then hide the assistant. And then at that point, if today is any 30th of any month, no, if it's 30th of April, basically this day, then kill everything. So now I don't know how that's going to even apply. And that's done for that. Let me see if there's still something else. So this will try to affect even if you try to open for the date. Not sure how to actually name that. Insect code, and then this basically is for German variant of Office, most likely. So we'll probably need to get to Windows 98 in German along with Office 97 in German again in some way to actually make sure that this could even work. So basically on anything that you will try to do, it will actually open the message box saying free Tibet 64 with name Tublam says. So Tublam says free Tibet at this point. The second thing should be the buttons. So basically that's for the information in this case. For the value 64. Also for the for the macro, yeah, all of that. That's infection process installed. Standard. Okay, so I'm just checking the translation. Assume that's so the data should be like file and token should be print. So this seems like that it's going to do anything possible, interrupt any possible part within Word. Well, print. So what does it actually do here? Disable updating. Go to end of document should be, I don't know. It's probably going to the end of document. Write down that brown text and then print it out. Move around, delete something, and go back to the start of the document and then enable updating again. And then if it's again after 30 seconds, then hold the bit again. Yeah. Alright, let's see if we can actually run any of those. I'll just create a few empty documents again and see how they will work. I'll just disable the first few until we actually figure out things. Just avoid any kind of accidental infection until we are ready. Okay, we'll go with Virgo, so that should be quite simple. So we have macros enabled. That's the model here. So then I have also the Excel opened in here. So we check the macros in here. So it's still clean. So we try closing this. Or reopen maybe. Open again. Let's see. There's still nothing in here though. So let me check what's going on in here then. So document open. Let me see this is. Can does it even go to infection process? One sec. So then this part probably just skips. There is nothing in here. But for closing the document then, close the document, nothing happens. So this might be outdated, I think. Basically, probably doesn't work. So let's go to the other variant. So we'll go with Xchg. Okay, enable. See how this will go. Is there anything infected at this point? Normal still clean. We'll try opening the clean documents and then the infected one. Why do I have a feeling that this doesn't seem to be working at all? Like there's the option for infecting Excel and Word, but Slack doesn't do anything. Let me see if this even. Wait, hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. Yeah. So apparently there is a problem here. Subscript out of range for this part. But there is no module 1 in this case. So what if I actually try doing like this? No. Right, so that seems to be broken. Oh wait. So I'm really not sure how this is going. Is this supposed to like add something? Special launch. Apparently that won't work either way. So even that's supposed to be broken, at least in this case. Yeah, even if I try enabling, it doesn't even affect the normal. So if I try, but if I try infecting word, oh, I didn't actually manage to infect. If I try Excel cross, then that fails. That only seems to work only at that point. Okay, let me just remove this. Close again. Let's check again, just to see if everything is safe. Okay, infecting word works okay, and basically at that point, this check seems to like display the message. If that's actually what happened when I actually tried to run it. So when I try to run infect word, oh, it was disabled with macros. Okay, let's enable macros and then launch again, run for infected word. So I'm not sure why it's saying like this document, then Xchg, and then it seems to open the Visual Basic code from here. Let me run again from here, so that we can be sure about that. So that's for the normal, but we'll go with the project one. Yeah, the name of the document, and the document, and then change, and then nothing. Something. So I didn't see any kind of like pop-up in this case, unless I'm wrong in some way. Yeah, there's nothing related to the pop-up to be displayed. So something in this is actually doing something that I'm not still aware what it actually does. And also it gives a comment, dead candies rocks. Let me just disable macros again and remove the macro from the normal module. Alright, let's see for... Okay, Lacop doesn't work at all. I'm not sure what could be... Could it be a pot? Hold on a sec. So it cannot be opened at all. The only thing that's possible that this is kind of newer file. You ever try a virus that is coded so badly that you had to fix it? Well, Jacob, most of the viruses are probably like that, and everything basically in script. So you have a lot of situations where some things work only on the specific situation. So we probably had like few examples in here. So when I tried to like try this, you can see that actually, why did I open this in first place? This actually had a like condition to check for the version, so that's okay at that point. So it's not that. I think that's for the Tibet in this case. If I actually wanted to run the virus in here properly, I would actually need to rename all those functions in here, because this is for German and this won't work on new English version most likely. So if I try just enabling it, it's most likely going to fail. Oh wait, it actually manages to say free Tibet at this point. So I might be even wrong. Hold on a second, let me print this. Wait, hold on a sec. Isn't there supposed to be like this to show assistant in here? There's also supposed to be an option to destroy few functions in here. I mean few items. The Lacop virus protection is now disabled. So where's the oh yeah, so there's the all user information being changed. So to Dalai Lama, to Blum, and then mailing address being do something, join the Mila Ripa fund with a contact of most likely that email address. So where the hell in here is for the assistant to come back? Can I even make it to come back? It says again free Tibet, and then he's gone. So does that apply to other documents? Let's see. Hold on a sec. So when I was actually trying to check out for the options to build for the option for macros, apparently the virus managed to delete that, and I actually forgot the hotkey for accessing things in here. Oh, the assistant is back, as in Clippy is back. No need to help. Why it's already gone? Okay, let me check for the macros. Okay, so that's for the macros in here, but I need to get the access to the macro in general. So let me find the area for that. Tools, let's see. Okay, Visual Basic Editor, so that's all I need. So let's go back in here. So apparently, if I go back to the area where there's an option for deleting those controls, I should manage to find it. Okay, here it is. So for view, option 6 should be deleted. With no idea what's the option 6 at this point. It format option number 12, and then for tools number 12 and number 13, which is most likely for the Visual Basic Editor and maybe macros in general. So if I try to close the document, let's see. The tools, is this still? Yeah, that's still gone. So let me go again in here, and let's see. I can actually reset this. Okay, so if I reset it, that's supposed to be functioning already. Even more trouble at this point. Okay, let's go back to this. So there's Tibet already in here included, and I think that's why. I think this is the reason what's the code for the FLTK, I think, or whatever the 4 letters were at this point. So basically, this is just a bunch of noise to be added. So you have the random text, the date, the printer name. Oof, sorry. and that being repeated a lot of times to give it enough of noise to make sure that it's not detected by some antivirus software. Viruses made in the night is held together by the duct tape at this point. Well, Jacob, at that time, I would say not many things were, how to say, under some kind of measures of, how to say, maybe the better way is to say that things were not that cross-platform as they were now. So people probably made some stuff that only worked on their PCs, and they expected to make it work on other PCs without any problem. Even though when you try to realize it at this point, many things do not work, especially if they are hard-coded. So you actually need like some kind of good programming interface. I think that's like the API to make sure that you can actually have some cross-platform compatibility in general overall. Let's see. So this is basically all the same logic, with only the noise included. So can I actually even make sure that this works even a bit better? I think that actually screwed it up by now by the model. Okay, this is still clean. So let's see. So this should be file open. File new. Is this even this? I'm not sure if that's even valid for the function. Maybe it's document open. I still didn't manage to dig around with this. And there's a lot of things in here that I cannot even bother. Let's see if I can actually. Let's see what can I actually even open the document like that. It's not even. Oh, that's not it. There's nothing. Oh yeah, so there's this document open. So basically we need another score. And let me check again. Let me go to help again. No, not like that. Check the tops again. So that's the document open in the end. But what are the all other variants in that case? Was event change new event? So I only assume that it should be document new. And what's on the code then? Let me check. View code. Let's see how we should go that. View code. Yeah. Code. There is view code method. But hold on a sec. I don't think that's it. I mean, I can say view code, but it's probably not that. Then VB code. Let's see about that. I'm trying to just like rename all of this to actually make sure that it works for English version, if that's even going to happen. Code. Let's see for this something for V. we'll still go try to replace all of that if possible. Wait, can you do the Shadow Nose Easter egg? Hold on a sec, let me just check myself. Let me just check at one moment for the Easter egg. Let me see. I need to check the document, how it's even done. I cannot remember literally anything at this point. If help, find tab, set up options by default, find all. Options. Find the options. So all the words that you type in. In any order. The show words that drop down list. Drop down list should between the characters. That's it. Then return the find tab. Then let's see. So who knows who built this tool? Shift Control and then clear. No, apparently that does not work in this case. So that probably works only for Windows 95 and Windows NT 3.5. So that doesn't work for Windows 98 second edition, that is. Or maybe it does for NT4, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll probably have to test that out at some point. But for now, that's not working. So that file data lagging, that's file.templates. If I actually try going like this, it's probably going to take forever. But it all also comes up with saying just mentioning the free Tibet in this case, so nothing special. Yeah, I need to check for the daytime. That should still be going. So for the 30 seconds and 4th of July, and see how this will delete technically everything. So this and then well, calm down. Okay, 30 seconds. Yeah, let's see, let's try doing that. Free Tibet, and I think oh, sorry. I'm just wondering if there's still something else going to happen or not. It did manage to started to delete some things, and then I have no idea what else is actually deleted. So apparently nothing else seems to be gone, except for things on the desktop. Hold on a sec, let me reopen again. So we need to wait for another 30 seconds to see what else is going to be deleted at this point. Oh, auto Tublam, line 0, Tibet and free Tibet and appreciate the knowledge of the Tibetan culture. With a note that the communist China still sucks. But I'm still not able to. I cannot actually tell the whole goddamn story with the China in general. It's always a mess. So let's see, is this going to delete something else now? Well, it feels strange that it doesn't delete anything else. Okay, so let's see if I try moving the file in here. Is this going to actually now delete everything? So we'll have to wait for a few maybe seconds until I actually figure out if this is actually going to do something or maybe nothing. And I'm not sure at this point. That's going to take a while. few more seconds and let's see. Pretty wet again. Oh, it actually started deleting stuff. But that's all it did. Don't deleted everything in here, and I actually forgot about the document about the, how to say, the file itself, that it actually drops in here. So let me go back in here and reopen. Oh, it actually needs to be 30 seconds. Okay, let's keep it like this, in this way. Pretty wet again. And nothing dropped in here, or it actually managed to delete that, so that's kind of a problem. So let's try to break the system by just opening the document from all possible areas. So this killing of the files feels still awkward. So as far as I've noticed in here, so let's check that from here. So there's so it actually says to kill like literally everything, but the problem is, how does this actually work? So this will actually specify multiple files. If an error occurs if you try to use kill to delete an open file, but that's actually not mentioned in here. I mean, I think that's actually overridden by on error resume. So this is probably going to just delete files until it gets stuck with something. So go back with pretty bad, and yeah, it probably gets stuck on the first thing where it fails. And then at that point it won't continue with that. So if we go with system, let's see how it's going to go in there. So let's open it from here. Oh, kind of forgot. 30 seconds. Open again, and apparently nothing. So either this fails quite quickly, or other things are wrong. Let's see from here. Let me see how this will go. Oh, god damn it. I keep forgetting about this. Pretty bad again, delete stuff. Nope. Then I assume that this will try to delete only some files in the current directory. Let me see if I try to do it over here. With event, delete something. Okay, so apparently the kill function just deletes the files in the current directory and not the actual folders. So I assume that's the point. So can we actually delete something else other than that? Well, nothing much can be done without actually going through some folders a bit. Maybe actually from here. I think this will break most of the drivers then. It did delete a lot of things. So what else? I need to go to some place where there are still there's still a large amount of files, but it's still kinda used in some way. This is mostly still in use, so that's not going. I don't know about this. So if I actually delete something in here, it's probably going to be unbootable. So I've kind of skipped that. Yeah, maybe we'll go with try with Office. So let's wreck the Office from the inside then. With the Tibet. Oh, in a few seconds again. Okay, Tibet, and what's gone? Some things are gone. No idea which stuff. Let's see again. Can we actually do some other things in here? Okay, I think that's enough. Let's see, just try to reboot. Or actually see. Okay, so it still works. But let's see if we actually manage to break the system by deleting some parts. Oh. Something was still kind of being open. And I have no idea what. So I don't know which wires did that though. Oh, so it did crash. Oh, it actually deleted the password. But apparently everything seems to be working. Well, assuming that everything is still working. Yeah, everything's still kind of functional. So I don't know how this actually try to delete some things. So Xchg is technically gone, even though there's a backup file, but most of the things are deleted and I don't know. So this is going to actually cause more trouble if I run it again. Let's go with the office again and let's try again. Oh, I need to check the time. What it tells shit. This is kind of a mess because there's no. I'm not using like 12 time clock. Oh, damn it. So if you actually manage to notice how for a bit, there were some few files in here which there's like one with PWL, which should be the password for the password saving. So basically, if I try to open Windows again, it will actually ask me for the password again in this case. So at this point, it seems to be working quite well. I'll also try to add few more, well, script files at this point. Maybe it's something else, but I'm not sure how it will work. Let's see. Okay, we'll go with few Trojan horses, more or less. Let's just sort them around. Let's see, so we have TGF batch file, loader Excel file, what? Oh, no, this is I'm not sure about this one. So this is actually supposed to be a Trojan horse, but it's usually like help file format, I assume, or at least. And then there's this Vortlink, which should be like the link, but I'm not sure how this one still works. I'll have to check that out. And then there's the WinInf should be like in file. So I'll also try those in this at this point. Fun fact, try creating a shortcut. It drops a new shortcut file when you begin the shortcut wizard setup. When you cancel it, it deletes it. Yeah, I remember doing that a long time ago when I actually tried doing that, and then it actually drops the file, which is basically blank, and then when I try to cancel it, it's gone. I actually remember doing that on Windows Me most of the time. Just give me a few moments. I actually have to go to the bathroom, and I'll be back in a few minutes. So take a few notes. In a moment. I'll be back in maybe 10 minutes, more or less. Hello? Is this thing actually working or there's no noise? I don't know if you can actually try that out in some way. Oh, wait a second. Okay, there's still sound. But I'm not sure why that didn't work, but never mind. Unless it actually killed the resource file, maybe. No idea. I never realized that it was still kind of silent. And yeah, Jacob, I know about the shortcut that you can still keep it if you actually just make a copy of it. So that this is gone and this stays. Okay, now back to this. Let's see. So there's the Delreg in which should actually kind of consider like deleting something. I'm not sure still how this one will work. But there's also this Vortlink, so let me see from here. This one doesn't have much. Not sure how this one will work either. Then there's the help file. This seems to be in Russian, I think, the text. And then there's the TGF. So let's see. I assume that's encoded. No, that's an Xchg actually. The name TGF. Copy to Xchg and then do some kind of command. And then there's the loader XLS. So let me check this one still. Oh, it's under password and I cannot actually figure out which one it is. So that's another problem. God damn it. Alright, let's see which one we should go first. We'll go with Delreg first. See how this one will do. This one didn't seem to do anything. So let me just check the registry. I should have done that maybe before running it, but so if I go to local machine, system control set, control BIOS info. Okay, BIOS info doesn't even exist. So apparently that's not a big concern. Then there's the Vortlink. So if I try to turn it into a link, still looks okay. And it actually reaches like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry. So that's probably not going to work, or it made it hidden. So there's something strange. No, sorry Jacob if you were asleep, but if you still watch the stream, I didn't expect that you can still go to bed like that. But I also do that at some point. So it's so sorry if I've actually managed to wake you up. No, how to say, no offense with that. The strange thing about this shortcut is basically it's not possible to get info about it at this moment. It's actually linked to the icon on desktop, but the thing is, it managed to hide itself, and I don't know what kind of behavior is done after that. That's one of the stranger things in this case. So you cannot actually get any details about this. So what if I actually try to make a copy? Make a copy? The same story. Run it again. 1 second then. Is this actually even hidden? Because it's like kind of a bit of faded, but it's not selected. So if I try to do not show any hidden or system files, then it's okay. Show all files. Okay, I have no idea what's with this, because this feels like it's kind of feeling that it's hidden, but it doesn't do anything. Is there anything a process file maybe for this? Yeah, nothing happens in here at all. So this is very strange then. So what if I try to change it to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? This would actually kind of probably do some kind of loop, but apparently there's nothing. Very strange. And I'm not sure how does it actually behave. Okay, so what about Tenet? Oh. System. Udapenja sistema i od dialogovo okna pokmećenje kotorom sledet zadat okay, I don't know completely Cyrillic at this point, or even Russian, and I still have problems with some kind of some sort of characters. На video для pokljačenoja udaljeno sistemu programa Tenet сохранит список 40 последний систем, который подключение названия стих систем приводства в нижней части меню. This last character I cannot figure out. There's also this one that I cannot figure out, and maybe it's one more, but I'm kind of lost. So let me just check this for a bit for translation. Oh dear God. When I try to copy paste this, it actually changed the... It's actually in wrong encoding. So I have to try converting that. As long as this is still... Let me just try to close. Okay, this is still kind of safe. So let me just try... Wait. Okay, now it froze. Now I cannot do anything. Control Alt Delete. Yep, it's completely dead. Okay, let's restart for a bit. Oh, god damn it! So that's gone, and I actually hate doing this. I really hate showing something like this. Like, I actually wanted to like keep the all info like this hidden and not shown. So I have probably seen some of the virtual machines that I have at this point, which I usually hate doing. So let me just turn on back the machine in a moment. Gee, I even hate OBS for this. I was expecting that it would actually show the proper window and it doesn't. Oh dear god, so much of trouble. So yeah, so why is it in Russian? Basically it was written by a Russian person. That's probably the most simple way to say. So let me just see if that's actually the fault of Tenet or it's something else. So let's drop this first and try to run it twice. Actually, let's just get something first. Let me open the gedit for a moment. Cool. Why does it actually manage to save that? That's not what I actually wanted. So even this didn't manage to save properly. Let's open again. Copy paste this. And for some reason it's turned into this. So I don't know which. Is it even possible to even change it? Hold on a sec. Let me just go. I try to save it like this. Go to desktop and simply this. Then open it. Still like that. But if now we open now can I actually change the encoding? Try to go with Unicode. Maybe not the best option. So how do I actually get the proper encoding in that case? Oh. Okay, I have no idea. I really need to find a way to actually convert to the encoding for this because I'm not sure how else it actually goes. Yeah, let's try again. Now it should be it's still not completely frozen. Okay, now it seems to be frozen. So now let's try to restart. This time a bit more hidden. It's trying to do a XSS attack on help and support program. Well, it might be possible. I think that's a possibility mostly because of so I don't assume that's possible because the help, I would say, help and support engine probably is still kind of based on some sort of, I would say, it has like some HTML support or any kind of like some kind of document support in some way, which could be probably exploited. This is not the actual HLP format. I'm not sure if you can actually find some other file that has that. Let me check. Ah, jeez. Should be HLP. So yeah, there is still a possibility that this is in some kind of a format, but I don't know how it's actually written, so I cannot actually figure that out at this point. So yeah, there is a possibility there's some kind of like exploit that manages to break the system in some way, but apparently this did not break the system in general. So there's still supposed to be the system ini file, I think. Or wait, there's a system ini file then. Oh, there it is. So that's not caused by this then. So let me go back to the Vortlink. So if I try doing that one, hold on a sec. Damn it, so I actually screwed this up. So what if I actually drop it in here? Okay, so it's still accessible. So there's 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's what it is. There's Sonia, forlog txt, forlog txt, and then desktop. But nothing else. So let's see if this actually managed to cause some trouble. But there's also a possibility that Tibet actually also managed to delete the system ini file. So if I try running it, apparently nothing. So if I try 6, 7, yeah, there's not even this one or this one actually managed to break the system. So I only assume it's the Tibet. Or hold on a sec, there's the Delreg also. So let's see about this one. So this one is the in. You know, I'm kind of feels like there's no reason that this should break the system. So I'll check the ini file. Oh, not open it like that. Install. Yeah, that's still nothing. Okay, so what was still remaining? Let's check. Still had the TGF. So let's see about that one. So this one will probably do some bullshit. Apparently, yeah, so apparently that should be an Xchg instead. If you go with Xchg, then it should run. File not found. Everything not bad, and well, so let's see. So that's still an Xchg. So it's not on, but I have no idea what it was actually doing. So if I go in here, let's see. Copy out exec command com. This looks like it might be actually for MS-DOS. Let's see if we can actually move it in here. Not like that. Just drop the file in here. File not found, and then it's in here, and it's renamed to TGF. And here, no difference. So basically, all it did, it was just renaming the all batch files to TGF. There's also mentioning that it should actually copy autoexec bat file to command.com, but one second, that's not supposed to be happening, right? No, that's not happening, as that didn't happen because it was still not found at that point. So it managed to rename the all batch files to TGF, and only then it actually tried to copy the autoexec to command, but that fails because it actually renamed the batch file before that. So that's kind of fail, but I think that's not for Windows in this case, it's probably for MS-DOS. Yeah, and we also had a loser Excel file, so let me just also check that out. So that's the XLS. Yeah, and we have to enable macros because I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, that doesn't work because something is required and I cannot actually open it, so we're actually out of luck at this point. We cannot debug it, and that's also gone. But The text the fonts in here are kind of odd. I think that's because actually I have no idea what actually caused that. Is that's the document itself? It is kind of old for 1997 though. I cannot pause it. So that's another problem. Let's just kill it then. Yeah, nothing else is running. And let's just do a cleanup for this. And this one, does it work? Yeah. Okay, let me check a few more. Let's see, for one VBS file, it's called Pakes variant A. Let's try that out. So that should be a Trojan. Oh, it's too large. Oh dear god. This doesn't look good. Yeah, that's a lot of things in here. But it's also possible that this is all just extra gibberish. So what if I try to run it? Just give me a moment. Malware radar. I'll just open something to see. Oh, it actually dropped the XLT file in here. Not sure why. Go back to this. That's it. Oh, it deleted itself. And then nothing. So let's return the file again. Let's see what it was actually trying to do. If that's even possible. Actually, let me try using gedit for this. Okay, let's see. Oh, damn it! There's still a lot of obfuscation in here. Very large amount. Sorry. There's might be something in the internet can be kind of figure out maybe. Later, how to run inf. Create shell. Management. Scripting file system object. This feels like this should be for Windows XP or Windows NT. I think. And a computer name. Control from here. There's the Explorer. Shell folders. Show super hidden. So yeah, I think that's for NT mostly. And there is also this one right here. Let's see if we can actually find. Yeah, that's only the reference in here. Sorry, I'm just coughing for a bit. That's mostly be that's kind of taking for a while, but it's kind of still okay. There's just a bunch of obfuscation in here. It's still difficult to figure it out. Oh, yeah, there's also the color radar that we actually got. And then there's also lots of do this, do that. Script. We'll use the script again. Kept going like this, it's not quite practical for me in this case. I'll probably have to get Windows XP and then try out things from there. Because this is kind of not that practical at this point. Try to open some file still in here and maybe save it somewhere. I'm not actually still able to figure out what it does. Yeah, I have no idea at this point. There's just too many things in here that I cannot actually figure out how it does it even work. Let me check if there's something something a bit more easier. Okay, let me see. Let me try with Kelly for PowerPoint. So that should be a virus. So that's it cannot be opened. So what kind of goddamn type is that then? Is there any other kind of format for this? Like none of the presentation section managed to work at this point. Like, there's like mentioning of the project and all that. What? It says like for the copyright 1998 by Fly Shadow. But why the hell it's not actually running? I really have no idea what's the format for the Microsoft PowerPoint at this point. Let me try one more. This should be PMG. So for the WordPad, WordPad is only used as I would say for those who actually do not have Office but they still want to do some document editing. At least Windows 7 actually had kind of the proper document editor, which also supported the usual rich text format, but it also did support open document format, which should be maybe the most preferred format for everything, but the Office actually goes better with the docx format, as in the Microsoft Office Open XML format instead. So even if WordPad can actually work with Open Document, it doesn't fully support it at some point, or I assume it doesn't support. So they just put it in just for the sake of saying that they have support for it. Something like that, I think. Okay, so actually this manages to work, but this is actually even strange. So the presentations in here are basically, I mean, the slides in here are basically the comments. Let's see. PMG panel generated by KD, so that's something that you probably have to find. Created with, no, so that's the person who actually made it. This is the tool that was actually made with. So it was made with PowerPoint macro generated 1.1K. We'll probably have to find it. By KD, Manifex virus exchange team, and no mercy virus team. So that was also the one that actually made one of the viruses from before that we tried. So do not edit and sorry again. Do not edit above this line. So this is basically the module. I mean the code, most likely. So the function for it. Well, and then you can resume. So get the presentation, get the project, the component, then the code module. And for this, let's say Jacob, are you getting ads by any chance, or I mean, I usually still use a uBlock origin because there's nothing else that I can use in that case. So this should be like the infection process. Yeah, that should be most likely the infection process that adds it into the module. I need Clippy. So for each linear pattern in this panda slides, count shapes. If linear panda, I just set this on mouse over action, then something, then run sound macro, run PMG in settings. Sorry again. No. Still, just make sure to keep the ad blocker. It's better in general, and I do not get any, as I'm not even with a partnership, there's no problem in my case. So endif with payload. So if it's 5th of any day, set the caption to Microslop PowerPoint in the message box, metaface and no mercy, PMG Panda for PowerPoint, and then start coders.net with hiding from some way. So we'll have to check that. Okay, let me check for the macros in here. Oh, there is none. So basically, so each one of those just gets. So how this will actually work? Is this even the valid format? So this is basically this is basically added as slides. So why the hell it's actually in here and it's not actually in here? That's kind of the question. Wait a second. Let's make the changes. Open again. Hold on a second. Hold on. Damn it. There is the protection here, so that's not the problem. So if I try setting it as path, so I think that's the template in that case. So it's not an actual virus. So it actually just added the code in here, in slides, not in the actual module. So yeah, that's the template in this case. Let's see. Okay, there's nothing more in here. So at this point, all I'm supposed to do is copy this. Oh, what is it? Yeah, no need. So go to Visual Basic Editor, add a module, write down, paste, and I think that's it. Wait, hold on, let me check the. Okay, so it should be the name Panda for the module name. So that's the only thing that should be named. Oh, I keep forgetting where should I even name stuff. So that's Panda. Close. Save. And so that should be the virus ready for use. Okay, so that's in here. This is the clean one, just by any chance. So let's see, open this, now enable macros. Let's see in here what's the state. So that's all in here as usual. So let me check again here. So get the current presentation that's active, get the model for it. So now for each line should be moved, and each little panel. So in this panel slides, shapes. So still don't know how it's going to actually affect things. So let's see. I'll try opening another presentation. Oh, so that's in here. So let's keep the Windows on side maybe. So what could actually cause any kind of problem here? Actually run the macro in this case. Wait a second. Let me try running it. It cannot, or oh wait, that's for the other one. Oh, it's not actually in here at all. It doesn't even have it. So how do I even run this then? Let me try to find. No, that's the property. So I can't really tell how this actually is going to run the macro in this case. Alright, let me try to record a macro and see how that will be stored. Store it in the macro, I'll stop it. Now check the macros in here. Oh. So this is the macro one. Sub PMG. So there's macro one in here mentioned. So why is this one not in this case? It has a sub function. Maybe it's because of the parameter pander. So if we try to remove that. Ah, now it actually managed to impact the other file. That's now in the new one. But now the problem kicks in here, that the problem with the action settings. Sorry again. Action settings collection object that contains the tool action setting object. I think that's for the action stuff in here. So usually when you have the shapes, you have action buttons, and I think for the settings, let's see, for custom return, there isn't one for settings though. Let me try each one of those. So usually those are like interactive buttons that you can actually click on during the presentation to do some specific action. But why the hell? Oh wait, there's a to run macro PMG in here. Ah, it might be a possibility. So let me just try to how do I actually run the presentation here? Whoops. It actually has like the... Oh yeah, it has an option to play sound, sorry. So this would actually try to infect other presentations at that point. So if I try creating a new presentation, so this is the new presentation in this case. Let me just arrange. So on this side, if we try to check the macros, this one is still clean, but the first one is not. So if I try to run the presentation and then switch back to here, now it's infected. So now I have the problem with PP mouse over. So there's nothing nothing about PP mouse over in this case. I think that's yeah, that's my mistake. On mouse over, I think that's what's actually meant by, hold on a sec, in the actual settings you have an option for mouse over, so that's the actual action, so that's the actual thing that it actually wanted to do. So let me try this again. So for every possible shape in the presentation, it will try to get the action for it. If there's none, then go switch to mouse over, set it up to run a macro. So that's the point. So let me just close this again, and now we'll switch to this. We'll actually not add anything in here, but we'll make another presentation. Hold on a sec, maybe. Yeah, we do not need the templates, but we actually need some very mental help in here. So this is still the clean one, and then this is the infected one. So at this point it should not still cause any trouble at any point. Now we'll arrange it both. So this is the clean one. So we'll add few action buttons in here, and we'll make no action to those. Actually, we'll just have them default. So I'm pretty much doing the same thing as before. And I also had one just in here to just, hold on, just to run the macro. So this one will be used to run the macro in this case. So at that point, all of these should do the behavior of running the macro in that case. So Jacob, about the music player in the PowerPoint. So basically, the only thing that you can do in this case is just to play sounds. Basically, in this case, few defaults and maybe some other sound if you want. So it's not like a music player, but just maybe just read it like some kind of possible interaction for the presentation. When you try to give a presentation, you can also make it more interactive by using the action buttons to do something or play the sound, or just do something interactive. But generally, I would say that by this date it's discouraged to do. So just like make a presentation where you have text, some images, and basically a nice template maybe. So that's all you need if you actually want to do a presentation. So it's not a special like PowerPoint player, even though there's something close to it. I might show you in the end. So where was I? Yeah, this thing. So for this thing, I'll just add a minor change. Wait, actually I don't need to. I'll actually switch to day 5 by running this. So the 5th of any month. Now run the first presentation. Oh, Metaface and No Mercy, PMG Panda. And then it opens the browser to visit coders.net. I think that was the domain, yeah. Metaface No Mercy, again opening coders.net. So at that point, these are infected. So when we try to check the macro in here, you can see that's also infected. Now, at this point, we can also see that in action settings on mouse over, you can see that it runs macro. So even though the action here to mouse click is the same, the mouse over runs the macro. Sorry again. So when I try to run, we can get the running all the time. You can see how this gets easily annoying at that point. So does it actually even apply only to these objects? That's the thing. So what if I try adding something like some basic shape or oval? Does this actually have an action? Let's see. Actually, let's see if we can actually add some other things. Few more shapes. Okay. Now let's run this one again. Oh. And show. Now in here, this should be also infected. Technically infected by adding the mouse over. But apparently it doesn't seem to actually add the action on mouse over. Unless it was actually not infected at that point. So what if I actually do something like this? Oh. Hold on a sec. So I'm not sure what actually caused it here to actually do something. That's strange. Let me check. Well, oh, hold on a sec. Ah, so on mouse over for the title, it will also run the macro. So wherever we actually go, it will do that. But that only applies to those before infection. So anything after infection will stay functional as it is. So you can see that it didn't actually affect anything else. So if we try running this slideshow, we'll get this all the time, except if we try to go in here. You can see that there is nothing in here, but suddenly... So it's kind of like a minefield, if you try to set it up like that. You're gonna just build up like this, and then you're kind of safe, unless you hit something else. So what else you can actually put? You have lots of things on the clip gallery, like zillions of things. Like many things in here. Ooh, there are also some flags. Let me just check that for a bit. Yeah, so there's the usual. So yeah, there's like Japan, Korea, a bunch of red tricolors. New Zealand, I think, Norway, Moldova, Romania, Russia, Scotland. I think this is like Republic of Srpska, but this is also a flag of minority for Serbs in Croatia. So what's this one then? Oh, this is technically Serbia for whatever reason. You know, back then, Serbia was basically Yugoslavia under the quotes. It was basically the union of Serbia and Montenegro. There was also Slovakia, Slovenia, Thailand, Netherlands, I think. What did it mention here? Poland, culture countries. What was mentioned in here? Serbia, Europe, nations, yeah. United States. This is Uruguay, never mind. Vietnam. How did you find what exactly, Jacob? I'm not sure what did you mean. This is basically the clip. If you mean this is basically the clip gallery. So that's basically accessible in here to insert clipboard. Usually that's in later versions. It's also available in down here. But yeah. So let me check a bit more. It might not be related to malware, but still. There are a few more. So this is like... oh, never mind, Liberia. There's also for North Korea, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan. Yeah, Taiwan. United Kingdom. and Estonia. And hold on a sec. So at this point, I'm not seeing Croatia. Not like there's still nothing for Croatia at all. This is, I think this is like Yugoslavia, yeah, without the star, unfortunately. So that's after 1990s. So there is Serbia, there's Serbia, and there's also Yugoslavia. And still no Croatia. There's also Slovenia. There's Germany. Oh, there is. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. So this is the flag of Croatia with a star. With a fucking star. That's unbelievable. Freaking unbelievable. They added the flag of Croatia as a as a as a social, I think it's like Socialist Republic of Croatia, and not the actual flag of Croatia at all, with the checkerboard, if you know. So yeah, if you actually want to make sure that this is even completely screwed up, run the macro in here, and yeah, just get screwed completely. No wonder that we didn't consider using Office at that point. So if you only had like, the flags for Croatia, then actually fine. So it's just fine for Croatia. That's the only thing. Incredible. Just goddamn incredible. Out of all possible things that they could consider, they went with this. Yeah, you need to double click on the embedded object to open and start it. So what else can I actually do? Yeah, you can actually even switch, but there's no point. But hold on a second, maybe I can just ungroup it. Yeah, just ungroup that. Yeah, let's see. So if I, oh, that, oh, they also have a hole. Okay, now I have to add just the checkboard. Let me just give me a moment to just finish this for today, and that's it. Oh wait, I can do this. Let me just finish up the proper flag, hopefully, and then we are done for today. At least we managed to try out this kind of a virus, because that's the only one that actually managed to work properly. So now I have to apply the colors. Just give me a moment. Now if you actually have to take note, make sure that you always use the first square to be red, because otherwise it doesn't actually fit properly. Usually, historically, Croatian checkerboard did start with white, but then the World War II has caused lots of trouble, and well, that's discouraged, I would say. So basically, just go with this if you can. Maybe I should just tweak this for a bit, like make it, maybe, I don't know, I need to just add maybe some other shape. Let's see, some round shape in here. Any? Come on. Maybe this one should. No, that's not it. Come on, isn't there any kind of round button? No, round shape that would fit for this. There's octagon, rectangle. And this actually applies to this completely. Yeah, maybe I can actually improvise. Okay, let's put it like that. This should apply with with red color. Okay, now delete this. Put this. I think this should be put a bit behind. Send backwards. Let me put it like this. Okay. One more here. Oh, no, wrong way. Now let's. No, now I have a bit of trouble with this because there's still other things behind. So I have to figure out how should I copy this properly or shrink it maybe. Let me just move this, shrink for a bit. Oh, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Let me just move this also. Now shrink it for a bit. And then finally just add those those small things in here, like for the coat of arms or whatever it is. I already forgot. Can actually add the fill, something bluish. Yeah, that's it. Group this, group all of this, and there you have it. Technically a Croatian flag. A bit better than one with the star. You know, this should kind of fit. Either way, that's it for now. Already managed to break myself with lots of trouble, junk, and all of that. So we'll go back to the golden era and return to the reality in a moment. Whenever I try to launch this screensaver manually. Okay, finally. Microsoft employees are not actually psychopaths. I would say the actual psychopaths can be Microsoft managers or actually executives who actually do some terrifying decisions just to make a profit by using various dark patterns. Even today, as you know about for Windows 11, as you can see. So for Windows 11, you have to be online. You have to sign up for Microsoft account, and you're basically going to get even more restrictions. When the Win32 API disappears, basically all the programs for before will be useless. So I would say that you should consider switching to Linux as soon as possible, because staying with Windows at this point, it should not be worth it at all. Either way, thanks for staying for the stream. I'm not sure when I'll try doing the next one. Hopefully maybe next 2 weeks. And then we'll see how things will go. Okay, Windows 11 Pro maybe, but they can always change the situation. Just a single update and the restriction is applied. Okay, then still, thanks for staying, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Yeah, Linux is still better. Either way, thanks for watching. No, that's it, and bye for now.